Yeah, yo. We're live. It's a Sunday night. 7 o'clock. We are live. It is the new Lou Cappetta show now with Jay Burke.
What's going on? Happy to be here.
So, Jay is going to be my new guest host. We might do some of these live, but we're testing out this new software, and that's we're gonna be doing some big things.
Yes, sir. But yeah, trying to live feed. Let's hope this goes good.
So, real quick, everybody, like you guys don't know, Jay Burke. He's my boy for a long time, man. I know I know he looks like a nice, clean-cut guy, but he's more like me than he would probably like to admit, or that his wife would like him to admit. But all right.
Like when I go into the dark side of the cave, like when I'm training or whatever, I see you in me, in my clothes.
That's a Star Wars joke, people.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of that too.
We're gonna talk. So, like, we're both big sports fans, Mets fans, right?
Yep.
So,
yep.
We're gonna talk. So we're gonna talk some baseball tonight. But first, I know I told you I'm gonna throw you a curveball because we got to discuss another thing damaging my childhood memories, man. Like, fucking, did you hear about this shit with fucking with Scott Baio?
Yeah, I did. I just saw it before. Nicole Eggert, right?
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. Like, I can't watch the fucking Cosby Show. Now I can't watch Charles in Charge.
I was gonna say, like, Charles in charge. He was the guy. Charles was in charge.
He was in charge.
He took
of that
advantage.
ass. Charles was in charge of that ass, man.
I don't know if you read some of the things she was saying, but I was like, whoa.
Did anybody think that they did not have sex? Like, did anybody think that? Because I always thought that. I thought Charles was smashing.
Well, Scott Baio, I mean, that's like prime Baio. I mean, so you would figure
post Chachi Baio.
Post Chachi, that was a lot of people.
Prime?
Right. That's definitely his prime. That's prime Baio. Well, he had a lot of longevity because of that. Because he was Chachi, and then then he was Charles. I mean,
did they just decide that he couldn't have? All his names had to be like with a CH, so he just didn't get too confused. Which, by the way, I was looking on Twitter today when I heard this shit because I was like, no, they got another one, man. Like, it's no fucking good. And of course, he's got a picture with fucking Trump, and which is another thing I want to remind America. All of the celebrities that supported Hillary Clinton, right?
Right.
We're not even talking about the candidates or anything. All the celebrities that supported Hillary Clinton. You people voted for the guy Scott Baio was endorsing.
Well, I mean, if you want to get into that, you could. We could talk about a lot of things with Trump and and some of the things he says, but Scott Baio has kind of got nothing on the Don.
Yeah, man. So they fucked up another thing from my youth, man. I can't look at it the same. It's not fair. I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking be. I better not hear that Mr. Belvedere did something.
It's always the guy who's taking care of the kids in those shows, I guess, right? Like, what the hell's that?
Yeah, that's
so. Watch out.
Watch out, Mr. Feeney.
Watch out. Mr. Feeney. My God.
So, all right. Well, Scott Baio didn't get in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose is probably a Scott Baio fan.
Probably a huge Scott Baio fan. Yeah, they probably bet on some games together too. Who knows? Who knows?
Bet on some games and start messing with underage girls. Probably had the same bowl cut.
No, that was
just
pretty
goes
hot
to show
back
you,
then.
this is why Pete Rose should be in the fucking Hall of Fame for one reason. Because that dude was tagging chicks with a bowl cut.
Well, you know what? I think he probably, like, with his hair and women, he was probably the same way he played the game. He just went all out. He didn't care. He was, like, reckless. I mean, he didn't have time to comb that hair.
That picture of him, he's not diving in third base. He's diving in that ass.
My God.
Jay, are you ready for this, man? Are you ready?
Yeah. Well, this got to take off because I'm going to lose my job soon. I think so.
If you are able to wear a bowl cut for years, like even way past a bowl cut's prime, and still find women to have sex with you, you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
I'll agree. I'll agree with him. I mean, it's just listen. I don't know where to go with that. I do think he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. You know. But,
not because of the whole bowl cut thing. It's just the whole hit, maybe more hits than anybody thing.
I think, yeah. Well, I think Scott Baio should be the guy introducing him, though. That's my opinion.
Yo, Scott Baio, yeah, Scott Baio is the fucking man.
Yeah, Scott Baio, long time.
Scott Baio. Hey, if you want to know who to vote for president, just ask Scott Baio. Like you would have asked Henry Winkler. Like I would ask Henry Winkler before I asked Scott Baio.
I agree. You know, he's got that. He's just got that. He's got that confidence too. You know, he could. He's going to get to the table with the Russians and the all the United Nations. He's going to get it done.
He's going to get it done.
He's going to get it done. Just a quick hey,
right,
or whatever the hell he did.
hey.
You know what I thought was the best? He played like the coolest high school guy, and he was like 28 years old when he started doing that. So he might be in the conversation with Scott Baio. He might have shown Scott Baio everything he knows. So
I never thought of that. That's true. That is so true.
Everybody needs a mentor.
Fucking Charles in Charge, man. The worst thing is that show wasn't even like, it was not even like a huge show. It was on fucking syndication. It was like, what's next? There's gonna be a fucking sex a sex tape from Small Wonder.
Charles in Charge is like you know, it's like watching Saved by the Bell. You're like, I don't know why this is on the air in the first place, but why was it on for like 10 years? Like, and how did it get like into syndication? And you know, it's just,
it was on for 10 years.
It was on forever.
It was on longer than the fucking West Wing.
Saved by the Bell. Didn't they bring it back?
I don't think it ever left, man. I don't think it ever left. Saved by the Bell never left. It was the shit. It was the shit. It always was the shit, but it just wasn't as good. I think didn't like Screech become the vice principal or something?
He was, yeah. He definitely looks like the guy who should be your vice principal. Let me tell you, like he did become I don't know why I know that. I just do. And then they did like a college year. They did like a college years thing too for a little bit, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was a pretty good show. I mean, nobody got fucking sexually assaulted there.
No, that cast, nothing's ever come out yet, so part of our childhood might be okay.
Well,
not really good.
We're live on Facebook, the Lou Cappetta Show with Jay Burke and my boy Andrew Schaefer thought that my shirt said Trojan. If you know me, I have 5 kids, so Trojan would not be sponsoring my shirt or anything. I don't need those fucking things.
Yeah, between us we have 8. So
that's right. But thank you, Andrew, for pointing that out. But no, it's Jordan. So yeah, all right. So no more Charles in Charge. I guess we can. Should we? I guess.
Now that's out of the way.
Yeah, no, that's out of the way.
It's something that had to be said.
Yeah, that's important because if you tune in, you're gonna get hard hitting issues. Like, what the fuck is going on? The other thing that I'm just thinking about this right now. Willie Ames was on that show. He's fucking Bible man. He didn't fucking stop this.
You know, he turned the other cheek. That's what he did. He did. That's what he did.
I'm holding Willie Ames responsible. That's it. I'm telling you right now.
Listen, you think he'd have some good? I don't know. You think he'd have some good Bible quotes going on?
You can't be a superhero named Bible Man and let fucking Chachi raping bitches on your set, man.
And not know that it's gonna let that happen.
Right. Yeah, and not fucking. You got to do something. You got to step it up, Bible Man. Mm-hmm. Shit.
That's it. Willie Ames. I totally forgot about him. I thought he existed.
8 is enough.
Oh. 8 is enough. That is enough. 3 is enough for me, but whatever.
Yeah. All right. So should we? I guess we should probably get
into what we were going to talk about.
Yeah, talk some stuff. Janelle's like, "Hi, Jay Burke."
Hi.
I guess she's watching on Facebook Live. Lucky us.
Lucky us.
All right, so we're gonna get into some serious stuff. We are both big baseball fans.
That's right.
With baseball, this time of year comes the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
Voting, the Hall of Fame induction. The Hall of Fame vote gets announced and who got in, and so in case you live in a cave, which you should still know this because fucking Bin Laden lived in a cave and he was broadcasting all types of videos on YouTube. so they got Wi-Fi in there.
They got Wi-Fi in there.
Right. I can't get decent Wi-Fi at the Howard Johnson.
I know, right?
But the fucking Taliban can get Wi-Fi in a cave in Afghanistan.
They tap into it, man. Stealing somebody's Wi-Fi in that cave.
So, in case you haven't heard and you're a baseball fan, Chipper Jones, who we hate because we're Mets fans,
right?
Vladimir Guerrero, who thanked everybody and did his whole Sammy Sosa thing where he needed an interpreter all of a sudden. Then he got in. Jim Thome got in.
Yep.
Trevor Hoffman got in, and Edgar Martinez missed it by
missed it
20 votes. Was it 20 votes?
Yes. 70%. He had 70%. He had 70%.
Right.
Yucina's not that far behind either. Actually, he was 6. He had 63%, but I think he made a 20% leap. So he's gonna. I think he's there maybe next year. Who knows?
Yeah. So what do you want? What do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about guys that got in? You want to talk about guys who didn't get in or should have got in? Or
I guess we could start with the guys who got in. You know, I was happy with definitely the top 3. I mean, Chipper Jones. He's I know, only his 17th third baseman of all time to get in.
Really?
That's it. Yeah, he's only the 17th. The last one they said was Boggs in 2005 who got in there.
Boggs should get in the Hall of Fame just because he was on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Of course.
And he drank like 400 beers on a cross-country flight or something.
You saw that too? I was gonna bring that up.
So what the fuck did Chipper do? He never drank that many beers.
He didn't. In fact, he probably drank like shakes and stuff. You know, it's not that impressive.
So Jay Burke is here for the facts. He is
right.
He is the responsible one. He is here for the fact checking. Those were just some fucking facts you just heard.
That's right.
My new co-host Jay Burke.
I might make them up as I go, but
that's all right. Facts are. If we learned anything, we've learned anything from since the 2016 election is facts don't fucking matter.
That's right.
The world is flat. There's no fucking global warming, and Wade Boggs should be king of everything. So Chipper Jones, getting back on track. Chipper Jones, 17th. You said 17th third baseman elected in the
17th third baseman elected into the Hall of Fame.
All jokes aside, man, I fucking hate Chipper Jones because he killed the Mets. The Mets single-handedly allowed him to win his lone MVP award in 1990 because he hit 45 home runs against them. He hit 45 home runs. He hit like 37 of them against
30
the
in
Mets.
Shea Stadium.
Yeah, 30
alone.
in Shea Stadium. Yeah, I mean, switch hitter, blah, 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 blah. Won a batting title. He was just a great hitter. 97.2% of the vote. Nobody's going to argue with him. I mean, I think the four guys, I actually think Vladimir Guerrero should have got in last year.
Right. I agree.
He's an interesting guy because his best seasons, like, actually more people watching this episode live on Facebook right now than were at any of those Montreal Expos games that he played in.
Well, I thought that was interesting too. Like, I never thought of him going in as an Angel. First of all, he played more seasons with the Angels than I remember. He was there for like 6 years.
Right. I didn't realize that either. He won an MVP as soon as he got there, his lone MVP award. But his best seasons were in Montreal by a lot.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There was two things that were interesting. I didn't think he would go in as an Angel. I mean, I can get him wanting to be an Angel going in there because nobody wanted to be an Expo. And the other thing was he's the first Angel in there. From what I understand. Yeah, I was kind of shocked by that.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I was looking it up. I was like, I read it somewhere, and then I was like, that's not right. Somebody made that up. Just like they made up the world was round, like you were talking about.
So we just got posting this up here. Can you see the overlay there? Can you see that or no? Like, is he?
I gotta go on.
All right. Well, my buddy Ken Stevens asked if you're a porn star. So
no, I've stayed away from that kind of art so far. I mean, I'm dabbling in a little bit of everything, so we'll see where the future takes us. I don't know. I didn't think I'd be here last year, so.
And he just said, "When do the porn stars get here?" So, Ken, you missed that episode, buddy, man. Like, you can still listen to it on iTunes and Google Play.
I missed that one too.
Are you not allowed to listen to it? Or are you not allowed?
I actually
that way you don't get any ideas. You do what you want.
I listen to that one.
Oh,
do whatever you want. Yeah, I did. I did listen to that one.
All right.
It was an expose, so I had to.
It was an expose. I mean, sometimes times get hard and you need to make ends meet. You got to start sucking dick, man. It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure everybody will be there at some point. Even Charles in charge. All right, so we were talking about, I think, Vladimir Guerrero when somehow that came up. Because that's where my mind goes.
Yes.
So, when I talk about Vladimir Guerrero.
That's right. I as soon as I think about porn stars sucking cock and giving dirty Sanchez's and shit like that, I think about the Montreal Expos. So
right. The poor Expos.
The poor Expos. Hey, Canada, how does it feel that you had a fucking shitbag team for so many years and they moved to DC and they're able to pay all these fucking players?
Yeah, I know.
They're going to have $1 billion payroll. And I'm just mad because I'm a fan of a team in New York who doesn't want to pay anybody.
Who doesn't want to pay anybody?
That's right.
I mean, I think they've deferred every contract like 100 years, like they're doing the Bobby Bonilla thing.
Yeah. Ed Kranepool is still getting paid $6,000 a year.
Yeah, exactly.
So Guerrero gets it. Guerrero gets
it. So Guerrero's in. Definitely should have been in last year, I think. Porn stars aside, definitely deserved the last year. Tomei, I'm good with, 612 home runs.
Yeah.
Can't really.
He was a beast, man. He was just a fucking consistent dude, and no steroid stuff with him. He was really like the first big like the guy that was like he was one of three options really. It was like home run, strikeout, or walk. That was his deal. And I mean that's you see that's become the norm for power hitters now. I mean it's all about they don't care. You can strike out 220 times and you're walking, you're walking 120 times and you're hitting, 40, 45 home runs. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what happens in baseball with that kind of stuff. I mean, it's the small ball era, I guess, is gone. Everything about that is gone, as far as, I don't know if that, you think that's like a symptom of, well, I guess it wouldn't be. I'm trying to think if Billy Beane kind of brought over some of those weird
Billy Beane owned everything.
Like that. Yeah. Billy Beane sucked. He was into like on base percentage and stuff like that, but
that guy, I'm going to tell you this. First of all, he doesn't look like fucking Brad Pitt. So, fuck that dude. Because if they make a story about my life, I'm like, who's going to play me? Fucking Dave Attell. Like, I'm not getting Brad Pitt to play me. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, this is, they're going to be, Craig David or somebody's going to play me. Like, just fucking, it's, he
didn't even like try to ugly it up for that either. It's like,
so that's like at least and pisses me off. That makes me mad. But besides that, his teams fucking do nothing. He's the most overrated guy. I mean, they make the playoffs and they fucking lose. Some years they barely make the fucking playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had those A's.
He had the big three.
So much fucking talent. Yeah. He had the big three. Those pitchers. But think about all the talent on those A's teams. You had Mulder and Zito and Hudson, and you had Giambi, and you had Tejada. I'm trying to think some of the other guys that were. I mean, you drafted you drafted Carlos Gonzalez, and you gave up on him. I mean, he is so fucking overrated, and I mean he'll always have a job because he does make the team competitive on a very low payroll. But I mean, he's made fucking awful trades that.
Yeah, agreed.
He traded for Lester.
That year, he screwed that team up.
Yeah,
totally. When he did that, was that Cespedes went in that deal? Who's the guy in that deal? It was Cespedes, right?
Yeah, Cespedes. Yeah, he traded Cespedes for fucking Lester. That was a disaster. He traded Addison Russell. For fucking Jeff Samardzija. Like that, you should be fired just for that. It's fucking horrible offense right there. That's like I can't even think of a comparable.
Well, I remember that Cespedes deal for Leicester killed that team though. Like after that, they were never the same. I mean, well, he took out like the heart of his lineup right there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He took out his best power hitter, most productive player probably.
Because he wasn't even he was 2 years from free agency because he got dealt to Boston. He hated it there. He got dealt to Detroit, and then then he got dealt to the Mets, and the Mets didn't want to sign him. And, whatever.
He forced
he forced their hand. I'm not accepting any money from anybody.
Yeah.
And the Mets were like, all right, I guess we'll sign you.
Well, like we could talk about that all night too, but that was like one of those deals where, he's like, oh, I want to be here. I love being here. I'll take less money. And the Mets didn't really have a choice at that point.
Just like, really?
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. All right.
Whatever.
Fuck the Mets. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah,
Mets boycott shit.
Yeah, I hear you.
I wish Scott Baio would find his way around Jeff Wilpon and just fucking teabag him or whatever he was doing to Nicole Eckert.
Yeah, well, he could do that and just try to slip into the wallet or whatever he's got to do.
Yeah,
I could talk about that forever, but
what's the best? Jeff Wilpon.
A little bit of both. No, I don't know. I don't want to talk about the Mets all night, but isn't it amazing? Like the Yankees for 1 year last year, you didn't think they were going to be that great. They come within one game of the World Series, and they were kind of like. Like this almost like Cinderella type story for 1 year, which was so weird for the Yankees. And then it just took one offseason to make them hate it again. Giancarlo, they're like back to being like,
yep.
like Oh, that's the Yankees. I know.
That's right.
Just one deal.
That's it. One deal. One deal. Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter is just on a tour to fucking. He just went down there, bought them. Yeah, I'm a Yankee for life. Don't worry. Don't worry. I got this. I'm gonna go buy the Marlins and trade you the best player for fucking hot dogs.
Yeah, I know. And they thought Laurie was bad or whatever, but like he's coming in like I don't know, man. That was an amazing deal for them.
Yo.
And then they're gonna have Judge right there.
Yep.
Yeah,
What's up?
man.
What's up? Shout out to my man. Shout out to my man Chris. He just checked in, said what's up. You check his website out, theplaymakers.com. Got some good stuff going on there with some talk a lot of basketball and football and some hip hop too. So it's pretty good shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
let's go on to number 4. I think we feel kind of the same. The fourth guy that
Trevor Hoffman.
Trevor Hoffman. How do you feel about Trevor Hoffman?
Let me put it this way. Like, obviously the stats are there. He got 600? He had over 600 saves, I think.
Yep.
Right, 601 or something.
601. He's second only to Mariano Rivera in the saves
right.
department. Total numbers for him, man. Right here, the 287 ERA,
right,
601 saves, 1,133 strikeouts in 1,089 innings. Strikeout per 9 of 9.4. His WHIP was 1.058. It's good numbers. His career ended miserably. He was an all-star at 41. Had a really good season with Milwaukee, and then he was just at 42. He was just a disaster. Barely made it to really hung on to get to 600 saves. But
I would be much more scared of Wagner, who didn't really get that high on the list. Billy Wagner to me was, it's hard when you come from here too, because we dealt with watching Rivera for forever, and most closers aren't Mariano Rivera. They have 2 or 3 really lights out seasons, maybe like that, and then they have a little bit after that. But
they seem to kind of be like running backs in the NFL. They seem to they can fall off very, very quickly. They can be really dominant for a while and fall off. Man. But Rivera never did, and that's what usually sets him apart. I mean, he's the greatest. But I'm gonna say this: a lot of people, man, like everything is fucking. It's why I don't get a lot of times, man, because it's so much about ratio stats now and new age stats and stuff like that, and then a guy like Trevor Hoffman gets all this praise and stuff, and do I think he's a Hall of Famer? Like, yeah, but I don't think he was not. I don't think he was better than Billy Wagner. I'm gonna read you some stats right now. So we're gonna do this like this. We're gonna go. Do you know Billy Wagner has more career strikeouts?
Yep. Looking at now.
Not only does he have more career strikeouts than Trevor Hoffman, he's got more career strikeouts. Now, Trevor Hoffman played 18 years. Mariano Rivera played 19. Billy Wagner played 16. He's got more career strikeouts than Mariano Rivera. He has a better strikeout per 9 than Mariano Rivera. And Trevor Hoffman. Trevor Hoffman was 9.4. Rivera was 8.2. Now, later in his career, Rivera didn't strike out as many guys, but Wagner was 11.9 for his career. 11.9 strikeouts per 9 innings. He had 1,196 strikeouts in 903 innings pitched. He had 422 career saves. Now, obviously, the saves is where Trevor Hoffman hasn't beat, but Wagner could have still played. Wagner's last season in 2010, he was 38 years old with Atlanta. He was an all-star, and these were his numbers his last season. He was 7-2, a 1.43 ERA, 37 saves, 104 strikeouts, and 69 in the third innings pitched.
That's unbelievable.
A whip of
38.
.865, a 13.5 strikeout per 9 ratio. Like, it's ridiculous. He was
so he went out on top.
Yeah, he did. He was terrific. He was great. He never had a bad season. He had a bad season in 2000, and he was dominant his whole career. And I don't know, man. I think it's funny because he did not get a very high percentage of the vote.
No, I said the same thing. I know it's his third year, right? So he's at 11%. It was Hoffman was in his third year. I just think it was the end of the game. I think Wagner's going to close it out against me if I'm watching the game. Hoffman, I always think I got a shot. That's the way I feel about it, man.
And Hoffman played his whole career, in Florida, San Diego, and Milwaukee. And when he never had to pitch in very, very few meaningful games. In the 1998 World Series, I'm actually looking at this now. Postseason pitch in 1998 World Series. One game finished. He blew a save, a 9 ERA. You know what I mean? In the 96 NLDS, he had 2 games finished, no saves, a 10.80 ERA. He blew 2 saves.
I can't think. There was a game he had like a 2-run lead in extra innings or something. I don't know if it was like a 1-game playoff, but he blew it. Or he had a 3. I don't remember. I wish I looked that up, but I remember him blowing like a huge game with a pretty big lead late in one of those series. But yeah, every time he's kind of got a big game, he didn't really perform, at least in the playoffs that I can remember.
Yep.
I didn't get to watch him every day, like Romano Benitez or somebody, but
yeah. So for my money, I would say Billy Wagner is actually the. I actually tweeted to Billy Wagner, and he came up with he actually responded to me. He came up with a nice response about. I tweeted something about he should be in the Hall of Fame, and he thanked me, but he said that he didn't feel that he was on the same level as some of those guys in the Hall of Fame, and he didn't see himself getting in. When you look at the numbers, 2.31 ERA, 422 saves, 11.9 strikeouts per 9, 4 strikeouts away from 1,200, and less than 1,000 innings, and a whip under 1. He's got to get in. I would think that he's got to get in. And you just look at his numbers when you really break it down, every single year. He's he could have easily held on 2 more years and got 500 saves, but he didn't. So
I wonder why he left when he was up at the top like that. But who knows?
Yeah,
maybe he was just done.
Wherever he got hurt. He was hurt the year before.
Right.
The Met, and he came back, pitched 2 games for the Mets. They traded him to Boston, and he was great for Boston. He was great his time with the Mets. He was great in Philadelphia. He was great in Houston. I mean, he's got 4 seasons of posting over 100 strikeouts. I'm pretty sure Trevor Hoffman. Let's see. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, Trevor Hoffman and Mariano Rivera have combined 3 seasons of over 100 strikeouts, and Wagner has 4.
He did 4 straight.
Yeah, not 4 straight. He did 97.
Oh, he did 4.
Yeah, and we're talking about 106 strikeouts in 66 innings in 97, 124 in 74 in 99, 105 in 86 in 2003, and then 104 and in 69 in 2010. It's ridiculous. Your wife is commenting. Let's put this.
I need a nicer camera
on the screen. Yeah, she's saying that we need a nicer camera. Well, Jay.
Let's start a GoFundMe page.
Yeah, guys, if you guys want to get,
if anybody wants to throw out a nicer camera or got a few bucks,
anybody got a webcam that the government's not using to spy on you, and you want to donate it to the show, feel free.
Be fantastic.
It would be terrific. It would be terrific. Thank you. It's nice that your wife is watching and supporting you. I wonder how she feels about Billy Wagner. I wonder how she feels about Scott Baio.
Scott Baio. I'd like to know.
So now let's get the biggest part of like the Hall of Fame. When you talk about the Hall of Fame, it's not like who got in, but who did not get in.
Who did not? Yeah.
I'm gonna run through some names right now of the guys that did not get in: Edgar Martinez, Mike Messina. Yeah, how about this? I'll run down some names, and you just. I want to do this right off the top of your head because that's how a lot of people feel a Hall of Famer should be decided. You just I'm going to say a name. You just tell me yes or no. First thought that comes to your mind. All right. Edgar Martinez.
Yes.
Mike Messina.
I know he's a tough one for me. Like, I'm going to say yes because even though he played in the American League East his whole career. Mm-hmm. So you got to figure that took away some wins from him. And I think in this day and age, trying to hit the 300 mark
right.
is I don't care about Billy Wagner or Scott Baio. Oh my God. We're in an age with pitching that it's. I don't know if you're going to get another 300-game winner ever again. Right. The way it's going.
270. And 20 games his last season. He was a good pitcher for a long time. I don't know. I don't know about him either.
It's hard.
I would say
I would have said no.
Right.
But as it goes on, and I see what a premium like pitching is now, like there's just not going to be a lot of guys like him anymore.
Right.
You know.
So, how you feel about Clemens and Bonds? We always lump those two together.
Well, with like, it's hard. It's like what they did to Piazza too and stuff. And I know he got in eventually, but you know, with the steroids guys, we don't know who was doing it. We know some of the people who did it. We don't know everybody who did it. So, as far as for that generation, I think we got into account. I think they should go in, but that's my opinion on it. Yeah, I think we know there's like a fake asterisk there that we know what the time was, but we don't know if everybody was doing that. So,
right. I miss you too, Christine. My cousin Christine just checked in. She said she misses me. I miss you too, Christine. I hope your new marriage is going well. So, congrats to everything. Yeah, just shouting out some people. I don't know if you noticed this, Jay, but
congrats.
Jay Burke says congrats too. I don't know if you noticed this, Jay, but people love me.
I can see that.
I'm a people person.
I hope it rubs off on me. So,
people love you too, Jay.
Yeah, I guess. They will. I guess. Will. I don't know. They will. They're gonna get to know me, so
that's right.
They're gonna love me.
That's right.
So
all right. All right. I'm gonna Edgar. I want Edgar Martinez. Hall of Famer. You think he's a Hall of Famer?
I know he gets. I can't do it off the top of my head because I got to think about him. You know what I mean? I think I said yes as a DH.
Fuck that. This is what listen. All right, I'm gonna read. This is what I'm gonna do right now. All right, do you mind if I cut in and I give my opinion on Edgar Martinez?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Edgar Martinez was a very good player. All right, excellent player. He was 312 batting average. 418 on base percentage, 515 slugging percentage, career 933 OPS, hit 309 home runs, 1,283 RBIs, 1,200 runs scored, 2,247 hits. He won 2 batting titles. To me, okay, I heard somebody on ESPN say this the other day. about he's one of the few guys who ended his career with a 300 batting average, a 400 on base percentage, and a 500 slugging percentage. Let me tell you who else did that. Okay, and this guy got 34% of the vote. Larry Walker. Larry Walker was a better player than Edgar Martinez by a lot. I don't give a fuck that he played in Coors Field. He hit 313, 400 on base, 565 slugging, 965 OPS. He won 3 batting titles. He won an MVP. Here's what else he won. Multiple gold gloves. He was a phenomenal fielder.
True.
And for those people that say, oh, Coors Field helped, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, he had, right before he got there in 103 games in a strike short 94 season, he led the league in 44 doubles, hit 19 home runs, 86 RBIs, and a 322 batting average in Montreal in only 100 games. He had, early in his career at 25 years old, he 23, 93, 18 steals and a 301 batting average, 350 on base, 500 slugging. In my opinion, if you are a DH, your only job is to hit the ball. If you're a DH, you have to be a better hitter. That you have to be like a better hitter than pretty much everybody else. You have to reach those milestones. DH careers get prolonged. I know he was a late starter, but one of the reasons that Edgar Martinez was a late starter is 2 reasons. He had trouble with his knees, and he was an atrocious defensive player. So he really didn't come into his own until he was 27 years old, and he played until he was 41. He still played 18 years. He couldn't stay healthy. He could not play the field. And the numbers are – Larry Walker's numbers are slightly better. If you want to give that edge to Coors Field, that's fine. But he won like 6 Gold Glove awards, and he had one of the when he was playing, he had one of the best arms in right field. You need to get, if you're a DH, you need to get to 500 home runs, or you need to get to 3,000 hits, or you're not a Hall of Famer to me. I'm sorry. Like, I understand. Here's the other thing. He was like the 3rd or 4th best player on those Mariners teams.
That's true. I mean, you can't take that away, but I don't know. Like, it depends on how you want to look at it. Like, I mean, he was kind of like, I just always remember him as the DH. You know what I mean? Like, he kind of made that what it was, I guess, in my head. Right. As far as I can remember. You know what I mean? But I could definitely see the case for keeping him out. And if you want to compare him with, when you talk about Larry Walker and stats, I mean, it kind of, if you compare the two of them, I would say they offset each other because Edgar Martinez didn't have to play the field. Right. Like you said, so he could concentrate on hitting, and that's all he did. But, it's like, it's one of those things, like, are we going to take the DH seriously or not? I don't know. And, it's going to be interesting in 20 years with the middle relievers and stuff like that. You going to take that serious? Or?
Right. My buddy Sal Calandra just said most shows let the guest speak. He's not a guest. He's my fucking co-host, you douche. He's my friend, by the way. I love him. He's married to a very nice young woman. He's a fucking douche, though.
Yes.
But that's okay. And so am I. So I say that lovingly.
We're just going to do that together.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to do that together.
Right. Sal, you're a great you're a great guy. Even though you're fucking really old, you're a fucking dinosaur.
Well, let me cut in also then on somebody.
Uh-oh.
What do you think? What do you think of Jeff Kent?
I don't know.
Pretty premium position.
Yeah, but he was also like, he played second base. I mean, I guess you got to put him in because he played mostly second base, but he was also another guy who was a terrible defensive player. But I would probably say he won an MVP. Actually, that Barry Bonds won him that MVP.
I was gonna say though, he was in front of Bonds. So
yeah, I mean, I think he'll get in. He got 14%. Here's the thing though. So like, I get it. Jeff Kent got 14% of the vote. He was never better than Gary Sheffield. Like, he wasn't like Sammy Sosa got 7.8% of the vote. He wasn't better than Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones got 7% of the vote.
Right.
Andrew Jones was a fucking way better player than Jeff Kent when he was playing, but he didn't play second base. But he won 10 Gold Gloves in center field. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Defense.
The Hall of Fame's always weird to me because it's like, I don't know. Like sometimes I think it should just be like we let too many in. You know what I mean? Like it should be like just the super dominant. And then sometimes you got guys like to me, Trevor Hoffman compiled all those stats. You know what I mean? Like he was. I mean, listen, he's got numbers. You know what I mean? We keep coming back to Trevor Hoffman. He's definitely gonna like. We should invite him on the show.
We should. My dad just checked in asking about Bill Madlock. For those that don't know, that's one of my dad's favorite guys who's not in the Hall of Fame, along with Lefty O'Doul. Bill Madlock won 3 batting titles, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. He's not on the ballot, though, Dad. We're just talking about the ballot. But one guy who is not going to be on the ballot next year, who we saw pitch live a few times, and that is Johan Santana. 2.4% of the vote for Johan Santana. Injury-shortened career, but I mean...
he was kind of on his way until he got to the Mets, unfortunately.
Yeah,
you know,
he had a good season with the Mets, pitched their only no-hitter, but he did... Right. He won 2 Cy Young Awards. I mean, his career... 139 and 78. I mean, the 3.20 career ERA. He won, 1,988 strikeouts for his career. Right. He won 3 ERA titles, 3 strikeout crowns. He was dominant. He was from 2003 to 2010. He was a dominant pitcher. I mean, from 2003 to 2010, he was 122 and 60, a 2.89 ERA, 1,648 strikeouts and 1,670 innings pitched. Right. ERA plus of 150, a WHIP of just over 1. But you got to have longevity. You got to have the numbers, unless of course your name is Sandy Koufax.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the unfortunate thing. I mean, he was definitely on his way, but he just doesn't have the longevity, like you said. But I mean, he was a bad man when he was.
Yes, he was.
Back in Twins days, and even with the Mets the first year, even that second year. I mean, I don't think the stats showed as much, but he had a lot of bad luck with them as far as they couldn't score anything for him. You know.
Yeah, my dad. Again, corrected me. Bill Madlock actually won 4 batting titles, and my dad also commented that overuse of the no-hitter was the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, Mark Kelly, says if you want to use Santana in the Hall, that Jerry Koosman should be in. I know what you're saying. I'm not. I don't know if I'm necessarily saying that Santana should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm surprised that he was dropped off the ballot in his first try. Like those guys usually, some of those guys get some percentage and they stay on the ballot for their whole time. I don't think he was a guy who should have been. I don't know. Like I'm okay with him if he never gets in. I think he should have. He should not have gotten
some respect.
He should not have gotten the same treatment, same percentage of votes as Jamie Moyer, or
right.
Like the guys that got tossed off the ballot are like Orlando Hudson, Carlos Zambrano, Kevin Millwood, Livan Hernandez. Like he was way better than all those guys.
Yeah, he was definitely. You could have had some love. You know what I mean? I know what you're saying. I don't think he should have got in, but he should ever get in. But and for that point alone, the longevity just isn't there.
So, all right. So how do you feel about Sammy Sosa? I know you're saying the steroid guys should get in. How do you feel about Sammy Sosa?
Why do you think Sammy Sosa is so much lower than somebody like a Bonds or a Clemens?
I don't know.
What drives that?
I think that they because he had such a huge. Here's my theory on it. Clemens and Bonds, those guys, before they reportedly started taking steroids, they were going to the Hall of Fame regardless. Sure. All right, Bonds
First ballot guys.
Right. Bonds had already won 3 MVPs.
Right.
He was going to the Hall of Fame. Sosa, he was a scrawny guy who couldn't make the team in Texas, struggled with the White Sox, was traded to the Cubs, and struggled his first year with the Cubs, and then, bam, hits 30 home runs, hits 25, hits 36, hits 40, right, and then jumps to 60. Now, he never failed a test. He never was caught with anything. Suspicion is suspicion. I don't like to be a suspicion guy. And at the end of the day, the dude had 609 home runs and 1,667 RBIs. He won an MVP. He had a stretch where he had 4 straight 50 homer seasons. Like 66, 158, 63, 141, 50, 138, 64, 160, 49, 108, 40, 103.
Right. They're video game numbers. I mean.
Yeah. And then came back after 2 years, after a year off, came back and hit 21 and 92 with Texas at the age of 38.
Right.
After there was testing and everything else. So I know he looked bad in the whole fucking Senate thing, and
right.
The suspicion is there, but man, it's just hard for me to keep that guy out of the Hall of Fame, and he's never going to get in, man. He is never.
No, he's not even close.
He's at 7.8%. So Scott Rowland got 10% of the vote. Scott Rowland, seriously,
yeah,
Scott Rowland. Yeah. It's crazy. That shit is crazy to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like I said, I mean, we all know what was happening, but we don't know the depth of it, right. And you don't know who they were playing against that was doing the same thing. So it's kind of hard for me to just pick and choose anybody, to go in, like who's going to go in and who's not. Rodriguez is an interesting case because he got
A-Rod.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll never get in. He's never going to get in.
Because that second time he got caught, the first time was kind of BS too, because it was supposed to be that should have never got out, but
you know what?
He's not getting in.
Yeah,
but he was stupid enough to get caught a second time. It's like.
But here's the thing with that. I'd choose being a billionaire and having sex with J-Lo over getting in the Hall of Fame any day anyway. So who's really winning? Well, who's really winning? Yeah, right.
And he still gets to be.
That schmo
still gets to be an analyst.
Exactly. That schmo voting on you from some St. Paul, Minnesota newspaper, or the guy living in a penthouse getting to see Jennifer Lopez naked every day.
Yeah, well, I think the Hall is big for him. No, I really do. Like I don't know anything about him, but it just seemed like that would be a big deal to him to be, just the best of all. He wanted to be the best of all time. Right. And he's not going to get that recognition.
Yeah. He has a painting of himself as a fucking minotaur above his bed or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. I think he had like 2 of them. He had a couple of them. Yeah. But he had a big house, so you got to fill it with something, right? A lot of money.
Omar Vizquel? You a Vizquel guy? I am. I think every bit as good as Ozzie Smith, and Ozzie Smith got in first ballot.
Yeah. I'm on the fence with him, too. I don't know why. Okay. But, yeah, I mean...
That's all right. Yeah, I mean... we don't have to do explanations here. We're not fucking ESPN. I just don't feel like it. Like this. Like, who shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame? Kurt Schilling, because he's a fucking scumbag. He should be in the Scott Baio Hall of Fame with Pete Rose and his fucking...
He might be there already.
He should be in the Pete Rose Bowl Cut Hall of Fame. If that's what I would do. If I was Pete Rose, I would start my own Hall of Fame for the best people with bowl cuts. You
don't think Schilling deserves it at all, though? Like for real, or?
Honestly, for real, I think this is what I.
It doesn't bother me either way, honestly.
This is what I honestly think about him. If that game with that bloody sock never happens, nobody's even fucking questioning it. Honestly.
Yeah,
that's his whole thing. He was, he was a clutch pitcher. He was good. He was very good. But
he was like a good. I know what you're saying. He's a good pitcher, but the postseason made him.
Yeah, he had years,
that's why he's in the conversation.
Right. He had years where he did absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Right.
I mean,
right.
he was, 94.
The year he got traded from Philly, he wasn't blowing the world away, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, he got to Arizona. It was a different story, but...
Yeah, I mean, he had a really good end of his career. He was a late bloomer. 3,000 strikeouts. He had a lot of really good seasons, but maybe I'm biased because I can't stand the guy. Like, even before, I knew that he was a big fucking, just a fucking douchebag, like Breitbart guy. Did you see what I just saw? We're gonna talk about Greg Piero from the Royals.
Definitely, but that's gonna be like its own show.
Yeah,
You need a whole show.
Second baseman. He once hit a 500-foot foul ball. More than once. Bombs. But his bat speed's so quick, he hits bombs.
Right.
But they go,
right.
Pulls it down the line.
Yeah.
But hey,
any car passing by was in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's a great guy. Short fuse. He doesn't like a lot of people. But,
But he's listening to the show, so that's okay. We forgive a lot of people. We forgive anybody who watches.
Right. He doesn't like a lot of people, but he likes the show, and that's all that matters. All thanks, guys.
Your dad knows a lot of gay people, by the way, because I just keep seeing that come up from your dad. Somebody's gay.
All right.
Not talking about Scott Baio, I don't think.
We love you too, Greg. Thank you. Thank you for watching. If there was a Hall of Fame, if I had my own Hall of Fame, I would put you in it. And I don't know if your wife Dana is listening, but I think she needs to treat you better. She needs to be nicer to you. You deserve it, buddy.
Let's just put it all over social media. I'm going to put it on my Facebook post, Twitter,
Snapchat.
I'm going to take a picture with a sign that says it for Instagram. Greg, it's going global. Don't worry about it. Things are going to change for you. Let's see Janelle. I guess Janelle tuned out for a while.
Yeah,
Janelle, that's all we've talked about for like an hour now.
Why do we love Greg so much? Because Greg is fucking awesome. The rest of the show is dedicated to Greg Piero.
Let's talk about just his stats and his numbers and what he brings to the table.
He led the league in broken bats. Like, he broke himself from losing his temper. Oh my god!
Yeah, but that's passion.
Kurt Schilling, I would put in the Scott Baio Hall of Fame.
Okay, that's fair. It's a fair place to be. And you know what? He's like first ballot Scott Baio Hall of Fame. Easy.
Scott Baio Hall of Fame.
You don't even have to vote on that.
You're right.
He's just
absolutely
there.
Not. He is the Ty Cobb of the Scott Baio Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I mean, someone has. Oh my god!
So Scott,
everybody's airing out their laundry on this thing.
Yep, I know. I'm just ignoring it. So let's do that. Let's create a Scott Baio Hall of Fame. Who should be in the Scott Baio Hall of Fame? We already have Kurt Schilling.
I wouldn't have known it before, but Kevin Spacey is definitely there, big time.
Kevin Spacey is definitely.
I didn't realize he was so good in all those roles where he was just like a D-bag that he was never acting. I mean, he just always was that guy. Some of those stories are amazing, by the way. Amazing. Right? Just
I like how
just
you
in front of.
I like how you have a stack of papers like a fucking news reporter.
Yeah, well,
and you do that every so often. That's fucking dope, man. That's some professional shit. You might be overqualified to do this. I don't have a stack of papers.
Yeah. Well, you got that. You got your screen up, so look at the camera. What I got. I got Jackie begging people for a new camera. So you're lucky I don't have a paper from like 1985 with somebody's stats in it.
Good strikes
Yo,
out Glenn Davis.
Kevin McReynolds went 2 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs on June 17th, 1985.
Kevin Spacey's in the Scott Baio Hall of Fame.
Kevin Spacey's
So
definitely
Kurt
there.
Schilling.
Big time. Kurt Schilling.
Is Louis C.K. in the Scott Baio Hall of Fame?
Absolutely not.
Are you surprised that like he was jerking off in front of people?
No, no, because I've watched his comedy sketches.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
all the time.
and you've looked at
he
him.
plainly.
Can we are we allowed to have sympathy for guys who were like jerking off in front of women because like when we look at them we're like, oh yeah, you kind of had no other choice. Can we have sympathy for those guys, or is that not allowed?
My only thing with him is I think he was he wasn't really like a predator. He was more of a pervert.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like
big difference, right? Yeah, absolutely. He didn't touch anybody; he touched himself.
Right.
Which, by the way, like, not for nothing, but if I call you and you answer the phone and you sound like you're jerking off, I'm hanging up on you.
Just hang up.
Yes.
Hang up.
Oh, guess call you back.
So
God, you've never.
I don't think he's there.
I
didn't expect to have to do the Scott Baio Hall of Fame. So I got the paperwork here. Nothing about Scott Baio's Hall of Fame. Let me tell you.
Jay,
so this is all up here. So I'm sorry if the stats are wrong. If somebody wants to throw out there, they should correct me on the stats. That'd be fine too. That'd be fine.
Ooh, Bill Cosby's definitely in the
Scott Bill Cosby, big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
With the pudding and the
What?
Fazzle.
Bill Cosby should be like pissed that it's called the Scott Baio Hall of Fame
because
he built that hall. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
That's true, man.
He's the he's the guy that started it all. I believe.
It's the house that Bill Cosby built.
The husband.
You can't even say it.
No. The house that Cosby built. Yeah, man.
All right. So should we give everybody like an idea what's coming up, what episodes they should expect?
Well, they definitely should tune into every episode, but
every episode. You should.
Yeah, let's give them an idea.
I know everybody's talking about my porn star episode. That's still up. You can check out my interview with Jane Cobb, the adult film actress, who very
not the guy from Firefly.
No, she actually is named after the guy from Firefly. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but hey, to each their own. You know, who am I to judge anybody who's sucking dick for a living? You know, so I'm in construction, so some people build bridges, other people suck dick.
That's sounds about right. There's only two kinds of people in this world, right?
Bridge builders and dick suckers.
That's it.
Yeah. So
sounds about right.
But this week, I have a couple episodes that that pre-recorded before Jay got on. But this week, if you guys are checking out the podcast, once again, you can check it out on iTunes, Google Play. It's on Spreaker.com. It is the Lou Cappetta Show. It is now the Lou Cappetta Show with Jay Burke. I got this week. I got an episode with coming out that was pre-recorded with Gerald Moody, aka Always Ready G Monetti. If you don't know who he is and you listen to podcasts, he is the co-host of the I Am Rappaport podcast with Michael Rappaport. He's Michael Rappaport's best friend. He's got some really cool stories, really, really funny dude and a gracious guy who said he's going to come on again after Jay has a few episodes under his belt and give Jay a grade as to what type of co-host he is.
Well, today's any factor.
No pressure.
No pressure. No pressure.
And this week, I also recorded an episode. There's going to be video with this one too. Ashley Clark. She is award-winning bartender out of San Francisco. She was on Bar Rescue twice. She was originally in an episode where a bar was being rescued. She was so amazing. John Taffer hired her, and she's now a bar. She was on other episodes as a bar rescue expert. So she's got a lot of interesting. She's real funny young lady, and very interesting story how all that came about and stuff like that. And this week, Jay and I are going to be talking to Alyssa Rose. Mets fans may know her, right?
Yeah.
You want to tell them about her?
Howie Rose's daughter.
Howie
Rose's daughter.
Yep, you could put it
in the books.
That's it. She is Howie Rose's daughter, but she's also
but she's got her own career. Yeah,
own career, actress. Very very interesting path she's taken. Writes a blog for the 7line.com. Does stuff for the Knicks and for the Mets, and so she's going to talk us off the ledge as Mets fans in that episode. So
yeah, that's why we're holding back. So
that's right.
That's going to be like an intervention. So.
Right, so we're going to be doing that. We're going to be recording on Tuesday, and then that's going to be up. We should do one of these live things every week, man. We should think about that.
Yeah,
maybe we'll do that. I got to talk to Jay, but we got to do some behind the scenes stuff.
We'll figure it out.
That's right. So that's going to be it for us. Unfortunately, we still have day jobs. Unless you guys want to start donating money to the podcast to keep me from working, I always accept handouts. And then.
And obviously, I need a camera.
Yeah, Jay needs a camera.
So if you want to donate that.
This is actually my camera right off my fucking MacBook, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't have one of those. This is...
Jay's on dial-up internet. All right, All right, so listen, that's it for us this week. Check out the episodes once again, iTunes, Spreaker, the Lou Cappetta Show. You can follow me on Twitter at Lou_Cappetta. You can follow the show on Twitter at Lou Cappetta Show. You can follow Jay on Twitter. What's your Twitter handle?
I don't know. I think it's. I just started using it again this week. I'm sorry.
We'll tell you next week.
Yeah, next week.
He's not going.
I'll be. Yeah. I'll hit you guys up.
All right. Once again, everyone, thank you for checking it out and commenting, everybody, especially the one and only Greg Piero.
Thank you, Greg.
Everybody, thank you. We're going to keep checking for the episodes, and we will, I don't know, maybe we do this again next week. Maybe we'll see you next week. All right. Once again, it's the Lou Cappetta Show. Now with Jay Burke. We are better than ever. And Jay, thank you. I'll see you soon, man.
See you guys.
All right.
Thanks, guys.